payment stack is a really simple concept. It's just all the different set of software and services that you need in order to be able to run payments inside your company. That's it. Stack's kind of a cool kid word, so we like using the word stack. That includes things like the ability to take in payments requests, like where do they come from? Does it come from a channel that's in store? Does it come from a channel that's online or digital? And then figuring out what kind of payment it is. Is it a card? Is it a wallet? Is it a bank transaction? Is it something else? Does it include proprietary forms of payment like loyalty, like offers, like gifts, maybe other things, like credit? And then finally, sending those transactions out to the payment services providers or the systems of record within your own organization that are required to actually determine whether or not this is a good payment and then ultimately result in settlement. So payment stack is basically everything that you might need during that full life cycle. It includes things like fraud. It includes things like what happens at the end of the day. How do you perform reconciliation? It includes reversals, refunds, chargebacks, disputes. Of course, we don't like those, but those happen regularly. Most people define a payment stack as having some form of interface like an API. And APIs can mean a whole bunch of different things, but we'll just leave it there. A modern API of whatever format that then's managed by a set of things that are determining what kind of payment this is, how that should be treated within the organization, doing a series of steps perhaps related to a fraud check, perhaps related to limits or order information, or otherwise improving or changing the experience that might be associated with this purchase, and then ultimately connections out to the rest of the world where payments are processed, or in other words, payment services providers. Those are, rough order, all the major elements. How people build payment stacks really depends a great deal. Younger organizations, even if they've grown to be very large, have tended to build their own. There hasn't tended to be products that they found appealing, largely because of technology issues and whether or not it was a modern set of architectures or something much older, we'll say proven. Larger enterprises that have been around for a while have, in many cases, bought vended products from large providers. Those tend to run on mainframes, or those tend to run on tandems, and those products generally have very specific functional scope. So there's a little bit of a mix and match between, is it a younger company where they probably wrote everything themselves? Is it an older company where they probably bought something and then maybe built their operations around that? Maybe the third option is a lot of people just don't have a payment stack. They've outsourced all of that to a provider, whether that's a processor like a First Data, or whether that's a payment services provider who does a lot of different things like an Adyen. Problems when building a payment stack include, well, it's hard. Payments is complicated. It's a specialized set of capabilities. It's a specialized set of technologies in some cases, particularly in the legacy sense. And it's definitely a set of things that can go wrong in horrible ways. So people have, in some cases, embraced that challenge, and they think that that's really cool and fun because they're also payments geeks. Other times, that's kind of scared folks away from messing around and building their own stack or building their own infrastructure. So it really comes down to risk-taking. It really comes down to how strategic payments are to the organization, which is changing. I think there are organizations who considered payments to be strategic. Uber is, of course, always held up as a good example of that have kind of shown the way for a lot of other people. So some people are getting kind of brought into the pool. They're deciding, oh, I'm going to take the risk, I'm going to take the leap, I want to be able to do more of this on my own. But now they're really caught up with this decision. Should I do this myself? Should I partner with somebody? Or should I look for something that's available out in the marketplace?